Welcome to Cohesive Friendship Unit. My name is Chris. I am with Jake
Hey guys.
and Brian.
What's up?
And a big howdy, y'all. We're going to be talking about Red Dead Redemption 2, specifically kind of my impressions of it, and a little hint that it may be coming to the Oculus Rift and even broader other VR headsets, and kind of what we think of that as well. But real quick, let me know down in the comments. Let us know down in the comments what you guys are thinking of Red Dead Redemption 2 so far, and if you would play it on an Oculus Rift. If you like this video, please throw us a like, and if you love us, sub us. Okay, so you guys are going to have to play a little bit of an interview role. We'll keep it spoiler-free. I've played Red Dead for, 35 hours now. And, yeah, it's been a trip.
And it's good, right?
Yes, it is good. It is stupid. The amount of
Is it good or is it stupid? Because those are
no, it's good. The one thing I'll say, and we can kind of do the VR thing hand in hand. I'll say it is like very deliberately paced. There are a lot of slow moments in there, and it's on purpose. Like if you make the far as I can tell, if you're making custom ammo and you want to make like custom bullets, every single bullet you have to do. Every animal you skin it. When you go to a store to buy things, you actually flip through a book and read through the book description and like the catalog. It's like the store catalog, and they order it and stuff. It's very deliberately slow.
What's the point? It's the old west. Like,
yeah, no, I
didn't
love
have
it.
video games.
Well, and the point is to immerse you. It's ridiculously immersive. There's an animation for everything. It is by far the most detailed and best looking game as I have ever seen.
So
I think that would work well on the Rift, is what I'm getting at.
The first
Oh hell yeah! It
question
would give people PTSD. It would
Maybe.
be like maybe.
What were you saying, Jake?
Sorry, yeah.
So I've seen that it's very like there's a lot of immersive, almost borderline like too like repetitive tasks, things like taking showers and shaving, but also things like, flipping through books at the store. How is that, like, are you enjoying that? I mean, I think I know your answer, but how is that compared to other GTA games? Because it seems like they're going way into the immersive storytelling aspects for Red Dead, and it seems to be working out well. The internet's been very happy with the game, but
Yeah, I mean the way I see it, the immersion factor is like, again, this is unlike anything that you have ever seen. The detail. I haven't checked, but I am almost positive that the number of shotgun shells that you have left is actually represented on your chest as you use them. Like that's how like it's absolutely ridiculous. And like if your revolver doesn't have a bullet in it, light can shine through that hole in the like revolver wheel.
In like animations and shit like that.
Yeah, it's absolutely stupid. And some of that, yes, it goes over to this like slower stuff. For me, that just adds to the immersion. I will say I think that all this stuff is going to work better on the first playthrough and maybe not the second one when you're just maybe trying to plow through it. But it's a 70-hour game, so if you're playing it a second time, you must like it a hell of a lot,
right. Well, it doesn't seem like it's GTA where, it's kind of a playground. It seems more like this is an immersive story.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely like I have tons of fun and like get wasted and cause problems, go to shows, I do stuff, but it's not like GTA where you can mow down
Run
people.
down 5 people on the side
and then just like run away and it's all over. Like you have bounties that carries through for the entire game unless you pay them off. Then people come hunt you down. I mean, to me that doesn't.
That's interesting that it like follows you.
Yeah, it follows you through forever.
Because they've never really done a good job with that. Like they're always like, oh yeah, like your decisions are gonna have an effect on like what people think of you and stuff like that. And it's just like comments that people make in the street.
Yeah,
it doesn't have any effect on like the actual gameplay or
Yeah.
anything really.
And yeah, I mean, like your hair and your beard, nobody cares about that. But like, there is a morality meter, and that does play a little bit of a role. The only thing that's really bugs me is the very beginning. And I think this is, again, this is like the flip side, or I think this would be better on your second playthrough. It's so restrictive. Like, it's 3 hours of just like doing weird shit, and you can't leave. Like, you can't explore the world. And I think on a first playthrough, when you just want to get in there, it's not as fun. But on a second playthrough, when you kind of know what's going to happen after, it'd be more accepting. That was the only thing I didn't like about this game so far.
The game definitely seems to be more reactive to the player, and more alive. Like I've seen a lot of posts on Reddit and a lot of videos of just like animals doing very realistic things, and then like things like you said, like light shining through missing bullet holes in a revolver. I even saw a video of someone talking about how the light shines through someone's nose when it's like the camera's up on a close-up. Like you can see a little bit of diffuse light through his nose, which is weird but also amazing.
I mean, like any gun that you have is shown on your body, like, and you're either holding it or it's and like, or it's on your horse and you like pull. It is absolutely ridiculous, the detail. And I think all this immersion is what would benefit the game in VR.
Right.
I think that's where it would hold up. I think that's where like stuff like flipping through a catalog might get boring on a gamepad eventually, but I think in VR that it would take a lot longer for that to happen.
How do you think
like-
they'll approach the movement in VR?
So that's that's the big thing for me where this wouldn't work for VR is one, you spend a lot of time traveling, like insane. There's very limited fast travel options, and maybe they would change that for VR.
Right.
And two, a lot of that travel time is spent on a horse.
So you sit
and-
on your couch.
Yeah, so I don't know if you would like have to come up with like a little custom thing for yourself where you like sit in your chair when you're on your horse.
Well, I think
But there's a lot of like on and off of the horse.
that's the biggest problem I see is like rocking back and forth on a horse is very different than like driving in a car. Like I see almost everyone getting motion sick if you like rock back and forth on a horse in VR.
Yeah, but if you're playing a game of this scale, I think you're going into it knowing that you have the stomach for it. I just and there's a lot of slow activities. Like there are literally, I think there's like 5 different shows that are like 20 minutes a piece that you can just sit down and watch, which is absolutely insane. Like I played poker for probably 4 hours now, but there's like poker, blackjack, dominoes. Like there's tons of gambling games you can play. There's, just even sitting around your campfire. Talking to people is fun. There's a lot of like slow, like hunting it's pretty slow paced. There's a lot of like slow things that you can do that VR like new people might enjoy, and you can still spend a lot of time in. And then for the hardcore people, yeah, you can go riding through, gunning people down while riding at 20 miles an hour. And you can play the entire game in first person right now, which is another reason why I think they might actually do this VR thing. It's like already done, like you can already play the game.
I could definitely see it happening. I mean, it's an immersive game to start with, so it makes sense that they'd want to try it in VR.
And that would be a killer app. That would be the first VR killer app.
Yeah, I to like echo your thought, I was gonna say this is like this is the game to buy a console for. This is it. Like this is insane. This game, it's unbelievably good. And if this came to VR, that'd be it. Like that would be just ridiculous.
And it looks great. I mean, it runs extremely well and it looks really good.
Yeah.
Which is a testament to how well optimized it is. I mean, I don't think there's any game on console at this time that runs as well as it does and looks as good as it does.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the Xbox One X runs this game at native 4K,
that's unbelievable.
Makes me think that you could, because the Oculus Rift is not anywhere near native 4K. You could run this game at a pretty reasonable frame rate with pretty good settings at sub native 4K on a PC that supports VR.
Right. I mean that you can run two 1080p screens if you're supporting native 4K.
You can run 4. But yeah, I mean, would you guys let me ask you guys this. Would you two questions. Would you if you could only if for the first time you guys play this, would you rather it be in VR or would you rather it be not in VR? And would you at all be interested in playing this in VR?
I'd be interested in playing it in VR, but I'd probably play it sitting in my chair first.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Like, because you're going to be really confused as to what's going on if you're playing it, because the VR adds a whole element of unfamiliar, and I'm not a VR person. I don't have any of the stuff. So it would be the first time for, well, I guess that would be the case for a lot of people, though.
Yeah.
I think I would still rather play it on a controller first, though. I think it would be too confusing.
Yeah, I think so. I mentioned this when we did our Oculus video a while back, but I think we haven't figured out how to do good VR yet. Like, I don't think VR games are as fun as regular games at this point, with maybe a few exceptions. So I think I'd rather play just regular TV screen and controller first, and then the VR would kind of be a novelty.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I see the first person camera in this now. I do think I'll probably try playing it in first person more later, but right now it's only if I'm like trying to be cinematic or trying to get a screenshot or trying to like, you know, really if I look at the detail and I'm like, wow, this is fucking nuts, then I'll flip it into first person to like add to it.
Right.
But yeah, right now even first person for me is a novelty. I do think that this would be a system seller though for VR. I think this could push VR units.
For sure, yeah.
I mean, Fallout 4 pushed VR units, and that was not nearly on the same scale as Red Dead.
This blows Fallout 4 out of the water. I can confidently say that.
Obviously.
This is insane. But I mean, yeah.
So, Chris, would you get it on VR? Because you're, I think, the only person in our group that could realistically do that if it came out. So, is it something you would buy?
Okay, that's unfortunately, yeah. So I would love to, right? Like I truly would, but I would not. I don't think I would want to pay another $60 for it on VR, knowing that it's a 70-hour game and that I likely wouldn't be able to finish it in VR, just because in VR realistically would probably take almost twice as long, in my opinion. Just like the way that you locomote in VR is so different.
Well, what about if you don't have to buy the game? Like, if you just had to get PlayStation VR?
Oh yeah, if all I had to do is get a PSVR, I would seriously I would very, very, very strongly consider doing it. Like, it would be, if my bonus came in, I would do it probably.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. I think that wraps that up.
Yeah,
right?
It looks good.
It looks great.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It looks stupid, dude. Yeah.
I'm waiting for it to come out on Steam because I don't have enough money to buy a fucking PlayStation for one game.
Yeah, and again, it looks like that is happening in the companion app. They found PC specific and Oculus specific settings and strings.
I mean, GTA 5 sold so well on PC. There's no way that it's not getting out.
The only reason I would say no is because the original Red Dead never came to PC.
Yeah, that was pre-GTA 5, though.
That is true. And yeah, Red Dead Online is a thing this time in a much bigger way than it was before. Cool. I think that wraps it up. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, well, if you, like Chris, find yourself trying to be, quote, cinematic in your everyday life, go ahead and hammer your thoughts on that down in the word box there. And while you're at it, make sure you subscribe to this channel because, like Chris said at the beginning of the video here, you're automatically entered into a chance to win some dank Steam codes if you subscribe to our channel. And while you're at that, go ahead and click the little ringy dingy in the top right hand corner of your screen there so you get continuously updated with all of the continuously cohesive shit we're doing here on the continuously cohesive friendship unit channel. And smoke them if you got them, guys. That's all for me tonight, Chris.
Thanks, Brian. Catch you guys next time.